My name is Nicolin, and I wanted to share with you some of the things that have been very helpful for me since I've discovered that I'm an empath, and I hope that they're helpful for you too. So, what do you do to recharge as an empath? If you're an empath or someone who tends to absorb other people's emotions, recharging often means intentionally creating space between your own feelings and everyone else's. So, here are some things that have been helpful, and I hope that they are helpful for you too. Spending time alone without feeling guilty about it. This is something that, especially as a parent, may be hard. For me, I know that there are times when it's hard for me to think about someone else, especially if it's my husband taking time to watch the kids while I go out and do something. I may feel guilty because I know that he also needs some time alone as well. Getting outside in nature, right? Taking a walk, going to the park, gardening. As you can see, my garden, this is what I'm showing you from my garden. This is something that I do, or simply just sitting in the sun on a nice summer day to help me recharge and relax. Setting boundaries. Now, this is something that may be challenging for most because it's not always easy. But you have to begin to learn to set boundaries with people who specifically leaves you feeling drained. Then we have limiting overstimulation. Now, this sometimes is hard. A lot of times I find that because I have my three daughters, it is challenging for me because they want all the attention at times, and sometimes it's just hard. So, what I do is I wait until they go to bed and then I just take some time for myself then. However, limiting overstimulation can also mean limiting social media, limiting the time we spend watching the news, and limiting the constant texting that we do, and having conversations that are not necessary. Then we have journaling. Journaling is a good way to help get our emotions out. Sometimes we may not want to talk to somebody. Sometimes someone may not be available for us to speak to. So, journaling is able to help us to sort out what feelings we are having and what feelings we have that may not even belong to us, but we're holding space for. Then we have pray, meditate, or practice mindfulness. And this is done in order to recenter ourselves. You know, praying is very helpful to release that tension or that worry or the stress that we feel. So, doing this consistently helps us to also regulate our emotions and set our minds in a right space. Listening to music is something that I also like to do, and I often do this either with my by myself or with my girls. Sometimes we do it when we're cleaning. It just helps the time goes by and it helps to put us in a good mood. And this is helpful when you listen to music. It just helps to calm you and uplifts you. The next thing I want to talk about is taking a bath or a shower. Now, while someone may see this as a symbolic way to just wash away the stress of the day, kind of like dancing in the rain, getting wet, not being, concerned about all of that stuff, taking a shower is just a form of refreshing yourself. You feel good after a nice bath or a nice shower. So this is something that is very good to do. And then you go on to a nice little activity, whether it's watching a movie or just calming yourself by reading a book. Then we have moving our bodies. A lot of us like to exercise. I will say that I need to do more of that. But exercise, stretching, dancing, or yoga is a very helpful way to regulate the mind, body, and soul. Spending time with people who refill our cups. Now, this is important for us who is able to surround ourselves with people who helps to recharge us, people who encourages, people who affirms us, people who are there not just to tell us what we want to hear all the time, but it's also there to tell us the truth. This is very good. So spending time with people who refill us instead of those who drain us. And for someone like me who's a school social worker, I spend much of my day supporting others. So recharging can also mean having at least one activity that isn't about helping anyone else. Whether that's fishing, which I really like to do when I get the time to do it, doing a craft, going out to the garden, watching my favorite show, watching something on nature, or just simply enjoying quiet time. A question many empaths may find helpful at the end of the day is, what do I need right now? And there are times where you may not know exactly what you need right now. And you got to think about not what your family needs, not what the students need, not what your coworkers needs or your friends, just what you. I know that this can be hard sometimes, but if you just think about what you need, I know as parents, it may be challenges. As someone who have a busy schedule, it may be challenging, but oftentimes what we need is pointing towards the kind of rest that will recharge us the most. If that means it's actual sleeping, actual just taking the time to do all the examples I've shared before. Um, if it means visiting a family or a friend that you haven't seen in a while, whatever it is that you need to help to give you that sense of recharge that you need is what you will take in that moment. All right. Thank you so much for listening. And I promise you that while I was making this video, my kids came and interrupted me several times. But that's just my life right now. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I just try my best to find time to recharge in different ways, as mentioned before. Thank you for staying till the end. Have a good night. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Bye bye.